Hi, I'm Vicky and I am the owner of Bethnal Bec Luxury Staycations. Do you want to come on in and have a look around? So we've got 2 retreats. We are building our third, and they started out as stables, which we managed to convert when we bought our house 5 years ago. They're called Bethnal Bec, named after the 2 areas in London that Chris and I lived in. I'm a Tooting Bec girl and Chris was Bethnal Green. So come on into Bec. So we're self-catering, which means that there is a degree of effort required as opposed to staying in a hotel. But we have fully fitted kitchens. Obviously there is a dishwasher. But the main thing that we have that we believe makes us different is that we have what we call our honesty and staples larders. So we provide our guests with everything here all for free, so unlimited use. And then the other thing that we created and is a large part of our business is our honesty larder. This is what we have here in Bec. We source and try to sell local and definitely UK. The iPad is all preloaded with basically a Google Doc, and you just fill in what you have. Now, a lot of people ask us, well, surely that just means people steal stuff or don't put stuff down. And I would say 9 times out of 10, people are honest. But also, when you're doing this every day, you know how many chocolate bars, you do an inventory. So you know that if something's missing or not, and then we just check in with the guest in case they've maybe forgotten to put it down. We've also started working with a local caterer, so we provide frozen meals, ready meals, which are amazing, and then ice cream, of course, all sourced locally. These guys are from just over the border in Suffolk. So Pimp My Stay is all on our website, and we provide lots of things that guests can obviously add to their stay. One of them being some things like the local cheesemonger puts a box together for the guest of their chosen cheeses, jams, biscuits, that kind of thing. They deliver them to us and they're ready for them in their retreat on arrival. Brilliant way of working with a local business, brilliant way of upselling to your guests and just creating that value add and that luxury with very little effort from them, which we think is key.
So we work with many local businesses. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't necessarily quick or easy to get them on board, especially when we're reasonably small ourselves. Some of our tips for how to work with local businesses, local suppliers, especially at the moment, customers are really keen on shopping local, helping support local businesses after COVID. So that's a really big trend which people love. I'm sure, people have welcome packs sometimes with local honey or local jam. So it's not always easy. You'd think it'd be easy to work with small local independent businesses, and it's not. So it does take some perseverance. We contact them, we see whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, or literally we just know them because we shop there ourselves, and it's a whole myriad of different ways to contact them. Sometimes it's simply just getting on the phone, sometimes it's messaging through Facebook or Instagram or email. Probably best sometimes it's dropping into the shop or the supplier. So I would say perseverance, choosing businesses that you like, you use. What my biggest one tip is, if they're not that responsive, maybe don't push it. Because we found that the businesses that are responsive, there may be a small pub who can do stuff for us, or a small caterer, or somebody's got fresh meat or fruit and veg. The ones who are responsive, they're on it. And it means you don't have to spend all your time chasing, etc., etc. Because the ones who aren't very responsive, even if we do actually work with them, we find that later down the line, maybe they don't deliver when they're meant to, maybe they don't get back to either our customers or us when we recommended them to our customers. So you've got to do the ones which are really responsive, really keen, and really friendly and happy. That'd be my number one tip for working with local businesses.
We've designed these rooms to be aspirational. So I wanted big headboards. I think they make a statement. I think they make the bed look cosy. We provide 3 pillows per guest. All of our bedding is wool, so that makes it sustainable and also hypoallergenic. So this one has the bath in the bathroom. Bethnal has the bath in the room. So coming in here, we wanted to create a wet room style. So the shower is also part of the bath area. This is a bath that we found, which we think is wonderful. You sit together and you've got that view out there. So everything has been built with the thought of sort of, you know, having special time, I guess, together. We used micro cement on these walls, but unfortunately it didn't work particularly well on the floor, so we then had to tile. So this tiling is relatively new, but I think it works quite well. Our outdoor space, you have to excuse the noise, we are building our third retreat. And we crack on with the noisy stuff when we haven't got guests in. So outdoor space I think is really important, but the most important thing, which we're really excited about, is that we got rid of hot tubs just 3 weeks ago, and we've put in outdoor baths. Mainly we found that with our hot tubs that had been in for 3 years, after 2 years of constant use, and these things are on day in, day out and being used every day, the day-to-day maintenance, the chlorine and all of the changing in legislation of how you make these things safe was becoming very difficult in our turnovers. And of course you add on to that all of the stuff we have to do for COVID with all of the extra cleaning regime. It really meant that we were struggling with our 2 retreats. And I've never really liked the hot tubs. Personally don't like to sit in chlorine, and personally they didn't sit with the way that we're moving to a net zero business. So all of that considered, we decided that once we started build for the folding box that we would get rid of them. So these are outdoor jacuzzi baths. So you get the sense of a jacuzzi, you get the sense of a hot tub. They're warm, they've got a special system in them that keeps the bath warm for up to an hour. They've got lights, but you draw fresh water.
So I think when you've been reasonably successful of, I think, having a small B&B or holiday let complex, one of the big things we found was how can we expand? You know, we're both from a business background. We both brought our house with the actual stables to renovate in mind. That's why we chose this house to do this business. But then we were very successful, luckily. And we want to expand. We want to, you know, have a nice lifestyle for ourselves and something for our children to enjoy as well, or to work in the future. So when we looked to expand, we looked to buying a property by the sea was the first and foremost thing. Secondly, we thought we'd buy something which families could enjoy. We're adult only here. We love children, we have 4 of them, we have too many. But we know that our guests, when they're here, don't necessarily want to hear somebody else's children if they've just got a precious couple of nights away from their own children. So we can't have children in the properties here because, you know, it's that ambience of adult only here. So we wanted to find somewhere which, one, we could have children and there'd be fun things for children to do nearby, and 2, was somewhere near the sea. So it's quite a long process, and unfortunately anything near the sea tends to be expensive. And so I think buying a place which isn't going to be our home, isn't going to be somewhere that we will necessarily live in, we might do in the future, we might retire there, is a much different kettle of fish. We had to see the potential beyond a home. So the property we've got, which was our 3rd one we actually put offers on, is perfect. It's in a perfect little hamlet called Felixstowe Ferry. And when we're there, you're thinking about how does this seem for basically adults only, groups of adults, a family? You know, is it got that holiday vibe without being too over commercialized? I think that's the key thing. It's got to be exciting for a holidaymaker, especially when you've got children maybe. So we looked for a little bit of wow factors. So other places we looked at had wow factor in terms of their view was over the ocean, or they had amazing scenery. But this one's wow factor is even better. It's 15 meters walk from the beach. It's got a pub 10 meters away, but it's a nice quiet pub. It's got a place you can buy fresh fish. It looks like something out of New England in a Jaws film, but without sharks, hopefully. And so it's got a little bit of wow factor. It's a lovely little unique community I've never seen before, never been anywhere like that in the UK before. So I think you've got to have a USP. it's got to be something a little bit different when buying somewhere completely new, and you've got to take obviously all the emotion out of it. Well, no, that's not quite true. You've got to be emotional about it, actually. Scrub that. You've got to feel something in your heart that you're excited about it. Yes, it's a commercial decision, buying another property just for business purposes, probably just for business purposes. You might enjoy it yourself as well. But you've got to take emotion out of it in one sense of the word, but then you've got to feel the excitement that your holiday makers would feel as well.
Okay, so this is our Bethnal retreat. So the bathroom in here has a double rainforest shower, and the bath is outside of the bathroom. We love our post box windows, and so we've placed the bath in a way that when you're in it, you've got the views of the countryside, and it just kind of adds a little bit more to the experience. Headboards, had them designed differently, just wanted to have a kind of slightly different feel in both retreats, but have similar things that you sort of ground you to our brand. And actually, in designing the folding box, there are going to be things that we will have and keep that will be the Bethnal Bec brand. So we'll always have large, colourful headboards. We're always going to have our honesty larders and staple larders. We're always going to have the vinyl record players and fires. But I'm going to show you the outdoor bath in action. We decided during COVID that we wanted to become a net zero business by 2022. And so I put in a system in our corridor where we would make it easier for guests to recycle, and also hopefully introduce them more to the concept of recycling. So really simple. We've just put some bins for glass and things like that. We've got bags here for plastic and paper. So last but not least, on my mission of sustainability is hot composting. And also another thing we've done is we've put, again, we get them free from Marketplace because so many people give away water butts. We've attached water butts to all of our down pipes so that we are harvesting rainwater.
So one thing we found in the 3 or nearly 4 years of being open is that the customers' desire for us to be more green, more eco-friendly, more environmental, however you want to term it, is growing, and it will become a sales point. You know, not just good for the environment, it will help us get customers, or will help us keep customers, or will help our social media to be shared because we're doing stuff which is green. Now, again, being in a listed building, we weren't able to get solar panels. Now, we might now, but 5-6 years ago when we asked for planning permission, no way, Jose. And that was a big shame, so we wanted that when we were doing a build. But in the last year or two, we've really thought about how can we do, and this is also for other people, how can you do small things which your customers are gonna like and will help the environment, but also will help yourselves. So we've got hot composters. You know, that is easy. Literally all food waste goes in the composter. Other things which are probably easy to do is things like recycling. Just having the recycling really easily labelled. Every council has different bloody recycling. So when you come from your home to somewhere else, you have no idea. They don't take plastic, they take tins, they have to be separated. These ones don't. So it's just having nice, simple instructions for recycling. And I think more and more guests like to think that we're recycling. We stay somewhere ourselves as tourists or holiday makers, and they're not doing recycling. We're like, I'm not sure about that. Why is this all going in landfill? So, you know, it is an important thing to do. And they're two really simple things to start with. Another third thing, which sounds complicated, is not necessarily cheap, but is going to be key for both environmental reasons, but also for your customers, is going to be electric vehicle chargers. You know, soon, more and more cars are going to be electric vehicle, and people are not going to stay. I already know there's apps going out there which show you where places to stay which have an electric vehicle charger. So people are deciding to choose where they know they can charge their car up easily. And interestingly, our planning permission for our third retreat here included a condition that we must have an EV charger. Now, we were going to do that anyway, so that was great news. So I didn't want to fight with the council about putting one in. But actually, it's a condition that we must have an EV charger, which is brilliant.